10-minute stock trader takes calculated risks, understands that the treasure lies in knowing the data, doesn't guess at trading, follows their plan, doesn't blame others, takes responsibility, and knows why the market works. A 10-minute stock trader is smart. A 10-minute stock trader understands that they can make the world a better place. They spread joy to others, they follow their dreams, they build each other up, they use money as a tool, and they spend as little time trading and as much time living as possible. Welcome to the 10-Minute Trading Room, where we take the guesswork out of trading. Good morning, traders. I just realized that I forgot to do something, and hopefully I can add it real quick. Nah, I am giving you terrible content right now. Okay, sorry. We're supposed to have
from a
video later on from a consultation with one of our 10-minute stock traders, and I forgot to add it to the stream, but I got it right now, so we're good to go. Okay. Dr. Sinclair, good morning. Rudes is here. Good morning. Rudes is our graphic designer and editor, and man, she does amazing work. Rudes, thanks so much. Donna, good to see you. Good morning. Glad you made it. I know it's early over there. All right, today we're going to be talking about... No, not that one. This one. There we go. The top 3 lessons I wish I knew before I started trading, and if you don't learn them, you are guaranteed to fail. This is fact. So, super excited that you're here. We're going to be covering a lot of information today, so be sure that you have a pen and paper. We're going to be going over some concepts that I need you to remember and learn, and I really want you to implement them as we go through. Now, I do have exactly 291 slides. I know, it's crazy, right? But we're going to blow through them. You ready? Let's get going. These are the top 3 lessons I wish I knew before I started trading. And if you don't learn them, you are guaranteed to fail. Now, here's the legal disclaimer. Let me make that big for you. Basically, it says, I'm just a random guy on the internet. Do not listen to anything that I say. And if you do, you do so at your own risk. So, with that out of the way, let me know that you're here and in the chat and where you're from. If I hadn't said hi already, I would love to say hi and let you know that I appreciate you being here today. Now, what is a 10-minute stock trader? Well, I'm going to let a few of our celebrity endorsements tell you exactly what a 10-minute stock trader is.
A 10-minute stock trader takes calculated risk. A 10-minute stock trader understands that the treasure lies in knowing the data. A 10-minute stock trader doesn't guess at trading. A 10-minute stock trader follows their plan.
A 10-minute stock trader doesn't blame others. A 10-minute stock trader takes responsibility. A 10-minute stock trader knows why the market works. A 10-minute stock trader is smart.
A 10-minute stock trader understands that they can make the world a better place. A 10-minute stock trader spreads joy to others. A 10-minute stock trader follows their dreams. A 10-minute stock trader builds each other up.
A 10-minute stock trader uses money as a tool. A 10-minute stock trader spends as little time trading and as much time living as possible.
Now, if that doesn't get you going, I don't know what does on a beautiful Friday morning like this. But yeah, a 10-minute stock trader is all about finding ways to participate in the market and spend as little time trading and as much time living as possible. So if that sounds good to you, then you're in the right place. Now on today's agenda, we're going to be covering 3 key areas. Lessons from a billionaire. If you just do this one thing, it just has to work. The next section is you don't have to trade all day. Just look at these 2 lines. And lastly, how you can avoid my $10,000 trading, at least $10,000 trading mistake. Now, doesn't that sound awesome? If you haven't already yet, type yes in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Brian, hello. Good to see you. Good morning. Please ask questions as we're going. And remember, this is a private training for members of the 10-Minute Trading Room. And this will be coming down on Monday. But the cost of admission today is sharing this to as many people as you can before it comes down on Monday. And it will be archived in the 10-Minute Trading Room for just our members. Now, get a pen and paper, like I said, and take notes. Brian, thank you for asking. Yesterday, my dad had to go to the hospital, and while we were there, he had a heart monitor inserted into his chest, and it's really amazing. It sends Bluetooth information to his phone, which then gets sent out to his doctor, and just medical miracle, really. And we were talking yesterday about that, and I was like, do you realize that this is just a few years ago, this was science fiction? Like, they probably wrote somewhere in some science fiction book about exactly this implant device that you have in your body now. And it's just the most amazing thing I've ever heard of. And then I also was joking with him that, he's 70, how old is he? 73 years old, and he just got his first breast implant. Oh, that was a good one yesterday when I realized that. But yeah, he's doing much better today, Brian. Thank you so much for asking. Today, I will be giving you $5,488 worth of trading education for free. More on that later. My 10-minute stock traders know all about that. But promise me you won't use these powers for evil when you see how to trade in 10 minutes a day. In fact, since Brian mentioned it yesterday while I was at the hospital, one of our 10-minute stock traders messaged me on the Discord and said, hey, are we going to be adding to this trade today? And because I have everything basically lined up so it's almost automatic, I looked at my phone and I ran our relative strength scanner real quick, and I was like, yeah, everything's lined up. Let's add it. So I traded from my phone less than a couple minutes, really, when we saw that all the signals were lined up, and I was at the hospital, and it still somehow managed to make it work. So yeah, that's what 10-minute stock trading is all about. Now, when you become a hashtag 10-minute stock trader, it's going to change your life. And disclaimer again, I'm going to show you the processes, but it does not guarantee you'll be profitable. And it's also a free bonus GPS tracker. I know. But yeah, I always say that you could publish the rules in a newspaper and nobody would follow them. The key is consistency and discipline. That is a quote from Richard Dennis, who at 29 years old had made $290 million. I have not achieved that feat just yet, but I would love to do so. But the only way you're going to be able to do that is by having consistency and discipline. And the world-class traders that I learned from all have one thing in common. That one thing in common is that they have rules. They have consistency and discipline to follow the rules. Because most people, they're not going to be able to do it. Now, I'm going to give you the rules today, and what I like to say is that rules are boring. But if you follow them correctly with consistency and discipline, rules can make you money. But I need you to promise me one thing, that you will have the consistency and discipline to follow the rules. Because when you do, you're going to be trading like the greats that I learned in how to trade from. These legends like Mark Minervini, U.S. investing champion for 1997 and 2021. The first billion-dollar hedge fund manager, Larry Hite. Well, we're going to be talking a lot about Larry Hite today. Market wizard Tom Basso, best-selling millionaire trading author Steve Burns, Jack Schwager, the original market wizard, and the trend following pioneer himself, Richard Dennis. Now, I took their best lessons and I created a strategy to manage a portfolio in about 10 minutes a day. And Tom Basso, he told me he needed about 20 minutes a day to manage his portfolio. And he said that he needed to learn from me. And I'm like, no, sir, that is not true whatsoever. I'm just standing on the shoulders of giants, learning and implementing what you've taught me here. Now, my goal with this web class is to show you the only way to be successful in trading is through 10-minute trading. And the only way to do that is trading with us inside the 10-minute trading room and showing you the steps that we take every day. So who am I? My name is Christopher Uhl, founder and head trader at 10minutestocktrader.com. I've been awarded top 100 people in finance twice, been nominated for top 100 global leaders in finance, etc. You can see what's on there. But here's a few of the places you may have seen me on. I've been on TV hundreds of times, but it didn't start out this way, right? I grew up in a double-wide mobile home in rural Texas, which is where I picked up my dad yesterday morning and dropped him off last night. I went to a small college, a small school in Arkansas, and I don't have an Ivy League degree, right? I didn't work on Wall Street. I don't have a hedge fund just yet, but that is a goal of mine later in life. And I say all this to let you know that you can do this. You can be a successful trader, but you cannot, under any circumstance, think that you know more than the market. So let me repeat that once more. You cannot, under any circumstance, think that you know more than the market. Because as Brian knows, trading is easy. It's just clicking buttons. We're not digging ditches here. And it gets a lot easier when you follow the proven rules. The proven rules I didn't make. I just learned them and I share them with everyone else. So if you're ready to learn the rules, type yes in the chat box and let's get moving. So this is the first section here, lessons from a billionaire. If you do this in trading, it just has to work. So this is who I'm talking about here, the first billion-dollar hedge fund manager, Larry Hite. Larry Hite, working with him was probably the best investment I've ever made in my entire life. And the first time that I met with Larry Hite, he didn't show. And Larry's pretty elderly now. And I was kind of nervous that he died on me. but we were able to make it on the second attempt. And before I get to the lessons that he taught me as the first $1 billion hedge fund manager and a strict trend follower, I got to tell you about how I learned to trade the wrong way. Okay, so have you ever heard of an iron condor? This is what my mind went to when I first heard about iron condors. And the interesting thing about an iron condor strategy is that it wins if a stock moves up, if it moves down, or if it moves sideways. And my thought at the time was, it doesn't get any better than that, right? I was convinced that this was the way to trade. Now with an iron condor strategy, if the stock moves up, moves down, or moves sideways, as long as it stays within a range, it's a profitable trade. Now, I thought I found the cheat code to trading, and I was putting these bad boys on all year long, thinking that I was a genius. But by the end of the year, I was down, right? It wasn't that big of a deal, but I had to know, why was I down? What happened? Shouldn't this have always worked, right? So I did an analysis, and what I saw is I had an 80+% win rate. So they did work. I had an 80+% win rate. So you can't go wrong there. I'm a genius. That's at least what I was thinking to myself. But how could I have lost money with an 80% win rate? That seems impossible. And when people get into trading, they think it's all about the win rates. And I'm here to tell you, win rates almost mean nothing. It's all about how much you win versus how much you lose for each trade. So I started looking at these iron condors, and thankfully I kept meticulous notes, and I found that while I had an 80+% win rate, 90% of the dollars I lost for the entire year came from the iron condor. 80+% win rate, 90+% dollars lost. Like, the math there should not have worked, but that's exactly what happened. How? It's because I had my risk and return out of balance. Now, a good stock trader will tell you, risk 1 to make 2, risk 1 to make 5. In this case, it was risking 4 to make 1 or even less. So putting on a trade where if you lose $400. And if you win, the most you can make is $100. But in reality, you'd probably make even less than that. So even though I had an 80+% win rate, the math was never going to work on this. Larry High has this quote where he says, "Throughout my trading career, I have continually witnessed examples of people that I have known being ruined by a failure to respect risk. If you don't take a hard look at risk, it will take you." So the way that this trade was set up is it had both a call spread and a put spread, which a call spread is where it's a bearish trade and a put spread is a bullish trade. And you combine those together, and this is how you get the iron condor. But during the setup and when I was working on it, I noticed that when I put on just one side, just the put spread, it seemed to trade even easier, right? It seemed to make more money. So if I just put on the put spreads, I actually made more money than if I had put on both the put and call spreads. Doesn't always make sense like that. So I got to thinking, why, right? Now, the people who I was learning trading from at the time would have bent you over backwards to tell you that the markets are efficient. The markets are efficient, period. The stock has an equal probability of moving up as it does moving down on any given day, period. That's market efficiency. You can't change that. On a single day, sure, that makes sense. But over time, there are clear trends, and you can't tell me otherwise. So this is what a normal distribution looks like. A standard bell curve, if you want to think about it. On the far left side is your big losses, which shouldn't happen very often. On the far right side are your big wins, which shouldn't happen very often. In the middle is your break-evens, which should happen most of the time. And basically the point here is that every trade that you put on basically has an equal probability of being anywhere on this curve, essentially. The efficient market hypothesis would convince you that trends don't exist. They would tell you that markets are efficient, so trends don't exist, right? This is what the standard bell curve would look like on this particular setup here, right? Entry long, as you can see, being inside here, makes total sense. But going outside that window definitely is impossible. No way. No shape. Markets aren't efficient. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. The markets aren't efficient because they tell you markets are efficient, so it can only move inside of this range here. Well, clearly that's not the case because markets aren't efficient. A standard distribution looks like this, where it could land literally anywhere on these points. But what we see here is in reality what's happening more often. Instead of the standard bell curve, you've got some traders who rack up tons of losses. You've got some traders who rack up tons of wins. And then they'd even tell you that this can't be done. But if you look at that blue cloud, and if you look at the dark blue line right there, that was the back test that was performed and plotted on this chart. Now, earlier, like I showed you, this is what the standard distribution would tell you of what the returns would look like at that given point, because it's always efficient, right? But if you look at the back-tested data, that's just not the case. This can't be done in according with efficient market theory. But the thing is that it can. Now, the objective with trading is not to have equal size and frequency of wins and losses. In fact, that's almost impossible. The objective with trading is to move yourself to as far on the right-hand side as possible. Get as many of those wins as you can, with as much frequency as you can, with as much size as you can. Because these are where the big wins come from on this side. These are where the big losses come from. And this is most traders. They have tons of losses, and all their losses are huge because they don't know how to respect risk, like Larry Hite talked about. But this is what successful traders look like. They have as many wins as they can, which they can't always control that part, but they can control the fact that their losses are small. It's not an equal distribution of having losses down here. The big wins come with bigger frequency, larger frequency, and larger size. That's what a successful trader looks like. And some of the ways that you can set this up is by having a scanner and looking at things like the 3 EMA, 10 EMA, 200 EMA, etc. This is some of the things that we look at every single day because they would tell you that this can't be done with an efficient market theory. But I don't believe that, and neither does Larry. He says, I've noticed that everyone who has ever tried to tell me that markets are efficient is poor. Now, if that is not a crazy quote, I don't know what to tell you. Anyone who's ever told me markets are efficient is poor because you can literally plot this out. You can say, using data and historical numbers here, that, hey, there's a great chance that this is going to happen. A positive expectancy. Not an even expectancy like the red line would show. Trading with the trend is the cheat code, as Larry's talking about. But you learn that the only way that this happens is if you take small losses. And Larry would say, never risk more than 1% of total account equity on any trade. Now, I like to risk up to 2%, but 1% to 2%, it's all you got to do. By risking 1%, I am indifferent to any individual trade. Keeping your risk small is constant and absolutely critical. You got to have it constantly small, and that is absolutely critical to be successful. But 90% of traders wouldn't believe that because 90% of traders blow up 90% of their accounts in the first 90 days of trading because they don't control risk. They don't diversify what they own with those smaller position sizes. But you have the choice. Don't let any one trade take you out. So many people have done that in 2022 and 2023 because they don't take the small loss. And that's what you've got to do. When trades don't work, you have to take the small loss. And like Larry says, right? It's incredible how rich you can get by not being perfect. That's by taking the small loss each time. It's incredible. But you have to ride the trends until they bend. You got to let a trend go. And only once it turns around and works against you, that's when you get out. Larry says, if you diversify, control your risk, and go with the trend, it just has to work. if you diversify by having small position sizes, if you control your risk by taking small losses, and you go with the trend as long as it has to go, it just has to work. So here's the lesson you need to write down. Keep your trades small by betting only 1 to 2% on each trade. Control your risk by taking small losses and letting those wins be big. And go with the trend. Okay? Don't be a contrarian. Don't be the person who thinks he's a hero by stepping in front of a moving average, by stepping in front of the stock, by saying it has to go down, it has to go up, just to get wiped out. Because like Larry says here, right? Go with the trend, diversify and control your risk, and it just has to work. I also like this quote here. I don't trade for excitement. I trade to win. And you do that by having a positive edge, keeping your losses small, and letting your wins run as far as they can. Because Larry has rules. And rules are boring, but rules make money. 10-minute stock traders have a very clear set of rules as well. This is our 10 minutes to freedom trading strategy, which is the markets, charts, relative strengths, backtest liquidity, and finally position size. We know precisely where we're going to get in and precisely where we're going to get out and precisely how much risk we're going to take. But we do not know one thing. We do not know this. We do not know how much we will make on the trade. We do know how much we could lose if things go wrong, but we don't know how much we could make. That's open-ended. You have to cut your losers short and let your winners run out of control. I don't know where I heard that from, but I love that phrase, right? It sounds amazing. Cut your losers short and let your winners run out of control. And like Larry says here, if you do that, it just has to work. So here's the key point to remember. Cut your losses short. Let your winners run out of control. Write that down because you're going to need that. That's the mental edge you're going to need going through 2023 here. So does that make sense? Are you getting this? Let me know if you have questions. We're going to get into a deeper, more technical section here in just a couple minutes, but let me know if you have questions. All right, so this is part 2. You don't have to trade all day. Just look at these 2 lines. Now, let me tell you about a frustrating day that I had trading, right? It's 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Everything's set up. I'm ready to do some trading, and I get in. All is good. Not a care in the world. I go to the gym at lunch, and I come back to see my position has reversed. It's reversed so badly now that it's past my stop loss point, which I didn't have a stop loss in the market. I didn't understand. This wasn't supposed to happen. And of course I didn't close it. And of course I couldn't sleep that night. And of course the next day it continued to go against me. And what I do remember, or what I don't remember, is how much I lost. But I do remember that helpless feeling that I had when I didn't close the trade and watched it continue to work against me. Why did this happen? Everything was set up. It was supposed to do this. It was supposed to go up. But the price action told another story. All the big money moves at the end of the day. All the day traders have to get out by the end of the day. Everyone is making their moves at the end of the day. So why was I putting on a trade when nobody else was? Why was I trying to make my swing trading decisions where I was going to hold it for a few days, just randomly, instead of at the end of the day when everybody else was? I need to trade at the end of the day, but how do I know if the big money is trading the same way that I am? Right? How do I trade the trend during the day? How do I know if I'm on the right trend or if I'm fighting it? So this is Brian Shannon. Brian Shannon was the first person where I learned about 65-minute charts from, which it sounds crazy, but 65-minute charts, because there's 390 trading minutes in a day. And when you break that down, that's 6 equal periods. Now, how can I break that down even closer to move it to now at the end of the day to make sure that I'm trading in that same direction? Well, 65 divided by 6 is 11 minutes. 65 divided by 5 is 13 minutes. But 11 and 13 minute charts were not available in TrendSpider, but 12-minute charts were. So I just stuck with that. This is Christopher Mullen. Something I learned from him was that successful traders don't watch the same charts. Well, I told him how I look at the 2-minute charts, the 12-minute charts, the 65-minute charts. He's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Because we're not looking at the same charts as everybody else. You don't have to trade all day. Just look at these 2 lines, specifically at the end of the trading day. So write these down. Look at the 12-minute 3-period moving average and the 12-minute 10-period moving average. Okay? The 3-period moving average on the 12-minute, it's what's happening in the last 36 minutes. 3 by 12, 3 times 12. The 10-period moving average on the 12-minute chart is what's happening in the last 2 hours. So if the 3-period is higher than the 10-period, price is going up. This is fact. It's math. If the 3-period is less than the 10-period, price is going down. So if you're looking at the end of the day and you want to know which direction the price is going at the end of the day, just look at those 2 lines. With the price being over the 10, and then the 3 EMA being over the 10 EMA. And doing it at the end of the day is when the big money is trading. So you have to match your time frames to a solid trend. That's how you do it. Those 2 lines. Here's the key point to remember here. The big money is made at the end of the day. The big money's trading at the end of the day, and so should you. Use just these 2 lines. Okay? Does that make sense? Are you getting this? Let me know if you have any questions. We're about to go into the 3rd section here. Would you believe we've already done 207 slides out of 291? I told you we'd breeze through these. You didn't believe me. Now, this is how you can avoid my $10,000 trading mistake. At least $10,000, okay? Success doesn't happen on accident. This is one of my quotes. Success does not happen on accident. Everyone has to pay their Wall Street tuition. And for me, I had our strategy about 90% figured out, okay? And I was making money, finally. And I was proud that I had finally overcome some pretty big challenges. But one thing that I was unable to do profitably was pyramid into winners. Now, I knew it was the right thing to do. I've been coached on this by these market wizards here. And this is how the turtle traders, if you want to Google them, this is how they rode their winners to make fortunes. And this is how the most successful traders in the world dominate the markets. But when I pyramided, I don't know if that's a word, but when I pyramided my trades, I didn't have the same results. I kept just not working so well. So let me illustrate what I mean. I understood about adding winners to one ATR, right? So if you get in and it moves up one ATR to add to a winner, if it moves up another ATR to add to a winner, if it moves up one ATR to add to a winner. But when the trade eventually reversed, my once big winner would turn into a small to moderate winner. Maybe that's happened to you. And that's super frustrating. I understood adding at 1 to 3 ATRs, one average true range up. And instead of winning on 4 units like you would think of here, I would only win on 2. And then I would lose 2. That was sacrificing a ton of profits and time. And I got to think to myself, why would I even pyramid if I gave back half the profits? Why not just take a small trade and let that run? This was my $10,000 mistake. I had lost at least that much in profits by pyramiding. And clearly I was doing wrong. And I had to find out why. So I talked to Greg Gossett here, and he asked me to take his course that he was putting together and give him feedback, right? And he learned from Steve Burns and Dr. Alexander Elder, author of Trading for a Living. In his course, I learned about Keltner channels. Now, I'm not a huge indicator guy, so I was skeptical, right? But the definition of the Keltner channel made sense to me. It's one ATR, one average true range above or below the 20-day, in the case of his course, the 20-day exponential moving average. One average true range above, one average true range below. Now, we used ATR in our position sizing. We used ATRs when we added to winners. Maybe we should use ATRs to see if it's overbought or oversold. So I did 2 things. I backtested it, and then I traded it, and I saw that it worked. And instead of sacrificing tons of time and profits, I could finally see when the stock was extended and then just not trade it. Because this is the Keltner channel we're talking about here. And when it was extended, I just wouldn't trade it. So in this example, I would only trade 2 of the 4 positions. So I would still profit on the same trades. I would still get out at the same exit points, but I didn't add these 2. I would have had more profits and less stress. This was a game changer for me. And this is when I realized this key point here. If I'm going to pyramid into trades, I'm only going to take them if they are set up exactly 100% set up as if I were taking the trade brand new. Only if it was set up as if it were a brand new trade would I take a new one. Would I pyramid into it? So I'd only add to winners if they're 100% set up perfectly again. And I'd use the Keltner channels to help, like a guide to show when it was too far one way or the other. And if it was not set up, just hold the 1 unit until the trade completes. So we talked about having on our scanners, right? Different moving average. We talked about intraday moving averages to help you find those trends. And then lastly, helping find when the stock is maybe oversold or overbought. So you could exclude anything over 2 Keltner channels above a 10 EMA. That's what we do. You have more profits and more stress. In fact, what I wanted to show you was a trade that we just got into our second unit yesterday. This is PSX, and it just opened 3 minutes ago. So we got in on this green line here. Yesterday I had a monster move up above 1 ATR. So we added because it was within because it was over 1 ATR. But what I wanted to show you is that this cloud is the inside of what 2 Keltner channels looks like. So this is the 10 EMA, the blue line. The cloud represents 2 ATRs from the 10 EMA. So the 10 EMA is a 10 exponential moving average. An ATR is an average true range. So 2 average true range from the 10 EMA. If it were above that point, I would say it's extended. I wouldn't be looking to add. But because yesterday, like I said, ran the scanners real quick and saw, hey, this is not too extended. It looks good. We can roll with it. So that is why we added to that position yesterday. But today, let's say it went up to this area here. I would say that's extended. I would say at 115, that's too far. We can't be adding to that winner because it is overbought. But it's not reached that point yet. So I wanted to show you a real life example of what we're doing today. Now that's a lot of rules to follow for the charts, right? A lot of things that you got to look at. But as we say, rules are boring and rules make you money. And some traders like to spend hours and hours and hours poring over thousands of charts. Not me. Ain't nobody got time for that. That's crazy talk. You can put all of this and everything else into a scanner and let that scanner run in 10 seconds and you've scanned the entire market. Then you can focus on only the best setups, only the things that matter. So here's a key point to remember here. Let the daily charts tell you where it's going. Let the intraday charts tell you when it's moving at the end of the day. And then let the Keltner channels tell you when enough is enough. And if you are going to pyramid into trades, only do it if it's 100% set up like brand new. So here's a really, really easy way to remember this. Do more of what works and less of what doesn't. So does that make sense? Are you getting this? I hope you are. Let me know if you have any questions. And of course, be sure to watch the replay to really soak it all in. So do you think you can do this? I'm sure you can. Type yes in the chat box if you can, right? Because we covered the 3 big sections today. Lessons from a billionaire. If you do this in trading, it just has to work. That's not my words. That's the words of the first $1 billion hedge fund manager. You don't have to trade all day. Just look at those 2 lines, right? The 10 and the 3 EMA. And that's how you can avoid my $10,000 trading mistakes. If you're going to pyramid into trades, be sure they're 100% set up like new, and they're not overbought or oversold, and you can use the Keltner channels to quantify that. It's not subjective. It's just math. Now, I say all this, and I said this earlier, is that trading is easy when you know how to play by the rules. So do you think you can do that? Of course you can. Type yes in the chat box if you haven't done so already. And this has been awesome, right? There's been so much to cover. And do you understand the power of why we do these things? Do you understand why? I hope that I've shown you how it works. And what I want to do right now is play a little video from a 10-minute trade that trades in our trading room with us. Consultation that I did with Kavan. I'm giving away free consultations for members of the trading room, and I just want you to hear exactly what Kavan says.
I'm watching these stocks today, and it's like I have Peloton and Fastly, and I'm looking at them and they're following the back test as planned. And I'm like, I'm telling my friend Rob, and I'm like, yo, I'm happy. And he's like, why? I'm like, I finally found something, a setup that I can use. I can go in there. I don't need anybody. I can go in there and I can make the trade my own. I can follow your steps A to Z, and I can plan my trade. As you said, 10 minutes a day, no hassle, no headaches, ain't got to stress. And he's like, for real? So no, I have him taking the previous course that I took because it laid a foundation for me. And I'm like, if you understand what these guys are teaching, then hop on over to Chris, because these guys are going to lay a foundation with the little fundamentals, like, you know, like the basics. And then when you transition over to Chris, then you will start understanding a little bit more. So, you know, you put in the roof on now. They build the foundation. I did my little thing. You put in the roof. You know, I'm eventually going to learn how to put some furniture in the house. As you can see, it's empty. You know, so you know, that's the goal, man. And I'm loving every minute of it. And the way you teach, it's simplified. And I ain't got to sit there and draw no trend lines. I ain't got to look for no breakout candlesticks. Like, which candle is this at the end of the day? Is it a doji candle? And I'm like, I'll never learn to read candlesticks pattern. Like,
you probably know candlesticks better than I do at this point.
I'm like,
I literally don't know anything about them.
I'm like looking. I'm online on Amazon looking for a good, you know, candlestick, you know, book to learn to read candles. I'm like, I'm not learning none of this stuff. I'm just gonna pay attention to what Chris is doing. I put the lines on there, and dude, I take screenshots of them and I look at them every day, because yesterday I was showing everybody. Like, I called all the guys, because I have all the guys that come in the group is guys from my work. You know, you got Josh, Daniel, Chris, and Rob. You know, they happen on the live when you have. I invite them over and they love it. You know, I got everybody, you know, asking questions. Daniel is on there asking a lot of questions. He actually went and got TrendSpider. So slowly by slowly, you know, everybody's coming to the table and, like, you know, want to learn, because step by step is no stress.
Do you want to take this to the next level? Right? Type yes in the chat box if you're ready to take this to the next level, because I want to do something awesome for you today. Let me ask you a question. Would you like my help in implementing this in your trading? That's where the 10-minute trading room comes in. This will allow you to finally live the life you have always dreamed being a trader would be. We have daily live video calls, daily trade alerts, daily new trade setups, daily portfolio updates, daily market analysis, daily trading psychology, which is so important. And everything we trade together. So it's like getting a call from me personally every trading day, with what we're trading and why we're trading it, which is really the most important part. Every trading day. Plus, you can get rid of all the fake gurus that you're still following on Twitter. I know I was really guilty of that. Spending hours searching on YouTube for the next YOLO stock, scrolling on Twitter. Everything we trade together. So as a member, you get everything. You get the daily video calls for free. Your membership includes the daily video calls for free, the daily trade setups, the portfolio updates, market analysis, trading psychology, all that's included for free. And then every other Friday, just like you're doing right now, we do live training and Q&A sessions, just like the one that you're watching right now. And we'll be building new courses together with your questions and your answers. That's so important to me. And these courses, like I said earlier on today, will be available for members only. You get to watch me personally showing you all the lessons that we use in these courses in our trading. And you can ask me questions as you need, right? You get it all. He's showing you what's working today, and it's like an up-to-the-minute field report sent from the front lines of the cutting edge of trading, and then showing you how to model it in your trading fast. And the only way to have access like this would be if I were to sit in the same room with you and you were looking shoulder to shoulder or looking over my shoulder with me every single day. Now, here's what a few of our members have said, right? Robert's saying, your trainings and advice have accelerated my learning 10x. This allowed me to start doing things that were sometimes unthinkable. Listening to Chris is well worth your time, even if you're a seasoned investor. So who's this for? Well, it's for new traders. It's for experienced traders. It's for busy professionals, some side hustlers. Like I know I've got a couple of my 10-minute stock traders in there who are side hustlers, and then parents who just want to trade while their kids nap. And if you've never traded before, don't worry. Is it okay if I over deliver? As a member, you're going to get everything. You're going to get the live training video calls, and you're going to get the live training every other week with me. And what else do you need to be successful? How about my flagship course, the AI Stock Trading System? And in this, we go step by step on how to use artificial intelligence in your trading. And also, I'll throw in the Real Trades case study course and the bullish, bearish, and neutral option strategy courses. So you'll be all set up there. And you're going to get all of that for free. As a member, you get everything included. That's the daily video calls, the live training and Q&A calls, and the full catalog of our best-selling courses. Okay? Well, what else would you need to be successful? We have video courses. We have our private chat room. And you're going to be part of a small group of high performers that are across the world that share valuable information that the rest of the planet never discovers. You're going to get the latest cutting-edge trading tactics and strategies before anyone else knows about them, exactly like we talked about today, including the live video trade alerts, the live market analysis, the live portfolio analysis, the live trade setups, the live trading psychology. All of that is included, and the live training and Q&A calls, the live look over your shoulder trading setups, live trading courses built with your questions and your answers. All of this is included as a member. You get all of this. Plus, I'm offering this now as a member. You're going to get at least one free one-on-one consultation like what we showed in Kavan's video. And this is coming from me. Who am I? Here's a little bit about me, right? I went straight to the pioneers of successful trading. I learned directly from world-famous market wizards and billionaire portfolio managers. And last year, the first year of implementing our strategy, we had a staggering 172.41% return on the first year of execution. So I'm pretty excited to share that with you. Right, you're going to get all of this, including the private one-on-one consultation with me. Total value $5,488. Right now, if all this did was finally set you up to see how real traders are profitable, do you think that'd be worth it? If all this did was help you shortcut the Wall Street learning curve, which hurts so bad, skip all those costly mistakes that most traders make and take years to figure out, would it be worth that? If all this did would give you the ability to model our trades and cut out the garbage that you see on the internet, you know what I'm talking about, would it be worth that? So I had two choices. The first option was to go as cheap as possible to try and help, everybody out there. But the thing is that there are lots of freebie-seeking knuckleheads, the guys on Wall Street bets, right, that really shouldn't be trading anyways. But the second option, which we went with, is the little higher investment in yourself, in the program. And in exchange, you get my time and my attention, and you're going to get you set up to get the success that you've always wanted. What would that one perfect trade be worth to you? Do you think that if you develop the trades like I did, you get the same results that I did? For the right person, this membership should pay you, clearly. If you're like most people, you would tell me you'd probably pay for years of membership with just the proceeds of one single trade. I know a couple of people have already done that. You'd probably tell me that everything else after that would just be gravy. And that's why I'm sending you our total trading system every month, right? I want to make this an absolute no-brainer for you. And I take a lot of pride in helping our members win big and avoid the big losers too. And that's why this is worth $5,488, because you're here today. You're now officially a 10-minute stock trader. I'm going to give you a monster discount. Of course, I wouldn't ask you to pay $5,488. The monthly cost of being part of the 10-minute trading room is only $147. That's it. That's like $4 a day if you think about it that way. You're going to get the daily live video calls with me. You're going to get the live training and Q&A calls. You're going to get the full catalog of our best-selling courses, and you're going to get a private one-on-one consultation with me. Total value, $5,488. And the monthly cost, like I said, it's only $147. You can boil it down to $4 a day. There's no contract. You can cancel at any time. You've got two choices, really. The first option is you do nothing and not take this leap of faith and continue to struggle, continue to search on YouTube, continue to search on Twitter, continue to listen to those fake gurus. The first option really is nothing changes. Or the second option, you invest in yourself. The second option is you learn how the market really works. The second option, you give yourself a shot. See if this works for you. Like I said, there's no contract. You can cancel at any time. But don't you think it'd be worth $147 to show me how we set up every single trade, every entry point, and every exit point, and like Kavan said earlier, step by step with no stress? Do you think it'd be worth $147 for you to come spend an entire month right here sitting next to me, looking over my shoulder on every trade we make? Well, that's pretty much what it's going to be exactly like. I'm going to walk you through every entry, every exit, and why we do everything. Personally showing you what's working and what's not. The daily trade alerts are meant to give you that exact same experience. And here's something else to consider. Do you think it'd be worth $147 to jump online with me twice a month to get all of your trading questions answered, right? If you have any questions, you just let me know. I got you. I'm here for you. I do this for you. That's what we do in the live training and Q&A calls. Plus, you can see your fellow members every day, and you can ask them what's working for them, right? And any of those scenarios sound like it might be useful to you, then this is clearly a no-brainer. You can still keep all the courses for free no matter what. You're going to get the daily trade alerts. You're going to get the live training and Q&A calls, the full catalog for our best-selling courses, and best really of all is to get you set up for success, the private one-on-one consultation with me. The work we do together can change everything. You know that. This can change your life. This is the wealth ripple effect that we're talking about. You'll be able to take our trade ideas and plug them into your account effortlessly because I show you exactly step by step. You connect with me and your fellow members on our live video calls every day. Help you get the guidance and the focus that you need. So take this offer or become a member today. Remember, you're under no obligation. You can cancel at any time, and you can still keep all the gifts for free. And here's a couple other bonuses I want to tell you about. Here's 3 fast action bonuses if you sign up today. I wrote the Secret Investing book, and I want to send you an autographed copy in the mail, plus the audiobook. I'm going to give you the step-by-step guide to our 10 Minutes to Freedom trading strategy, which we use every single day. And finally, our top stock list, which I update this every single day. So every day that you get this is exactly what we are doing in the trading room. So let me show you how to sign up real quick. Just go to 10minutetradingroom.com. Click this big blue button right here that says, click here to take the guesswork out of trading right now. Then you're going to go to the next page, and it's going to ask you a couple of questions like your name, address, and everything. Put in your credit card number to get started. Make sure that you put in your t-shirt size because I want to send you a hashtag 10-minute stock trader because you're going to be officially one of us, officially a 10-minute stock trader. So if you have any questions at all whatsoever, feel free to reach out to our team. We would love to help you out, love to get you set up, and love to get you as part of the 10-minute trading room. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. I hope that this was very enlightening, very useful, and I can't wait to see you inside the 10-minute trading room with us every single day, and in fact, later on today as we make our trades. Thank you so much. Hope to see you there. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate your time and attention. I hope you learned something. And hopefully, I will see you later on today inside the 10-minute trading room. Otherwise, talk soon.